Morning everybody, welcome back to a new video. Thank you for continuing to bear with me on the big break of videos I've had. Today, once again, working on the good old 33. As you would have seen, I would have just pulled it outside. But today, we are going to be doing a full rad flush on the RB25. So I'll show you the tools we're going to need for this morning. It's recommended that obviously you have a drip tray, a tarp obviously, which will lay under the front of the car. You're going to need probably a flat blade screwdriver, some sockets. Well, the flat blade will be to undo the little bung in the bottom of the radiator. Sockets, I've got a 3/8 drive ratchet there and a 1/2 inch, because I'm probably actually going to pull my wheels off as well and wash them, like inside barrels and all. And you're going to need a jack. So what we're going to be doing is also going to be draining the block, but I'm not sure if you can see in there right, it's probably a little bit dark, but you can probably see just there is the coolant line for the turbo, and right below that is a 14mm little nut, which literally just, you undo it and all the coolant will come out of the block. So first of all, what we'll do, I'm going to put the rad flush in it, and then we're going to go for a quick drive to warm everything up, to loosen all the shit inside, because I noticed it's actually quite dirty in here. It's been a while, but yeah, it's quite gross. That's really not ideal. So what's happened here is when I did the turbo, so when I put the high flow turbo on, I should probably zoom this out, go back this way. Right, there we go. Sorry. What happened was, when I pulled the turbo off, obviously the factory RB turbos, they're cooled, obviously water cooled and oil cooled, so the water line comes from the other side straight over into this other side of the turbo, which you can probably see maybe in there. And obviously when you pull the turbo out, you've got to pull the lines off. So if you don't keep your lines up high, you'll lose all your coolant. So that's exactly what I did. So I just kind of filled it up with water in the meantime, because there was still some coolant in there, and clearly it's had other ideas, and now it's gone to shit. So you can still see it's, you probably can't see because of the camera with the light, but it's still green in there, so that's good. But yeah, first of all, we'll put some rad flush in it. Now it does recommend to drive, where's the instructions here? So use 1 bottle for every 10 litres, that's what I'm going to use. Add condenser radiator and turn on heater. Run engine for 20 minutes, 1 hour maximum. So we'll get that 20 minutes by just going for a drive. So I'm probably going to go down to my local super cheap auto, and I'll get some degreaser. So once we're finished, obviously any spillage I do make, sorry to the EPA people that are watching this. If there's anything obviously I spill, I'll clean up. So we'll put this rad flush in, and yeah, we'll go for a drive. Rad flush is in, and we'll just go and put this in the bin. I think you can buy this new line rad flush from any sort of automotive dealer within Australia, so like say Repco, Burson's, Super Cheap Auto, whatever's the most common one to use. So definitely get some. Also, one thing I would recommend, but I won't do because I've already done it since I pulled the motor apart, is the thermostat. So thermostat is hiding right down there. As you can see it right there, there's the housing. I would definitely recommend doing that too if you are, taking the time to drain your block and the radiator. It's just, it's called preventative maintenance. If you prevent shit from breaking, it'll last longer. So, yeah, we'll go for a drive, let this rad flush run around, and then, yeah, I'll get into showing you how to drain your block and your radiator. So, let's go. So, in the Skyline now, just heading down to, local Super Cheap, just to get some, some degreaser. I really hope you can hear how good that sounds. I'm not sure how good the microphone for this camera is, but sorry if this camera is right in my face too. I'm normally using the Canon, but I'm back to using the little vlogging camera at the moment, just for something different. Because I feel when I use the Canon, I don't realise how big the camera is, and my camera's a little bit faulty. So with the Canon 700D that I use, you can have the flip out screen, but in them there's actually a little switch that obviously tells the camera to turn the actual LCD display around, and mine doesn't really do that. So if I tend to use the flip out screen to look at myself, I normally, I have to keep twisting it back and forth until, the switch decides to turn itself around. So Another good thing about the Skyline, which I haven't obviously spoken about lately, since I haven't been making videos because I've been busy, I have working AC. R33 AC, sitting at 18 degrees, perfect. If anyone has a 90s Nissan, everybody knows that nothing blows like a 90s Nissan. Don't take that the wrong way, because I know some of you will be a bit real naughty about that in your head, but you can keep that to yourself. But other than that, nothing else has really changed in the Skyline. I did get an alignment recently, which has made the car drive like an actual car, because ever since I owned the car, which is probably coming up maybe close to 3 years in April or August this year, I can't actually remember, I've never had an alignment. So I got it booked in at Fulcrum down near where I live. It cost me a little bit more than what I wanted, but that's fine. That's what you pay for. You pay for good quality, you know, workmanship and service, so that's good for me. But it got an alignment, drives like you know, like a brand new car again. But I need lower control arm bushes, inner and outer. I need upper control arm bushes, inner and outer. I need high cast toe arm bush things, whatever you fucking call those stupid little rack end things. High cast is shit anyway, so mine's been unplugged since I had the car. But I'm gonna get my S14 cradle, which I've got at the side of my house. I'm gonna actually get that, or I'm gonna put that in myself, so there'll be a video to come on that, so stay tuned for that one. So I'll probably, you know, take it to get powder coated. I'm gonna buy one of those GK Tech weld-in subframe kits, because, you know, I definitely want to put one of them in. You know, while it's out, I may as well get it done, so weld it and paint it. Let me know down below in the comment section what colour you'd think would look good for the subframe. I'm thinking I would really like, obviously you're not going to see it, but who really cares? I'm thinking either like purple, like that, like the little Jelly Belly air freshener, or I'm thinking like cyan, which is like, would you call it turquoise? I don't know, but yeah, let me know down below. I definitely love to hear your suggestions. But yeah, also another thing, sorry I just keep talking, I'm in a mood to talk today. Thank you to everybody that has stayed with me recently. We're almost at 200 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed already, please do help me get to 200. I didn't expect the channel, you know, I've been YouTubing for maybe like 2 years. Yeah, I know it's slow, but to me that's, you know, that's pretty good, and I'm happy with the progress I've made. Like, I haven't been making videos recently because I actually just become a father of 2, so I've got 2 kids now. I got a little boy and a little girl, so I've got my pair, and that's it. No more little children. But yeah, that's all the news really in my life. So we'll just we'll go to Super Cheap now. I'll get some degreaser and some other things I might need. I will go and have a look anyway, and yeah, we'll go from there. Just down at my local Super Cheap here. I kind of forgot a mask, so I actually walked in prior and just got a mask, so I didn't forget. These masks are fucked. COVID, you can get fucked. So we'll go inside and we'll have a look, see what we can get. This way. I found the degreaser. Anyone that lives in Australia knows that this shit is just the best thing you buy. So we'll get 2 of these, and we'll go and have a look, see what else is here. Little did you know, I used to actually work at Super Cheap Auto when I was younger. One of my favourite jobs ever. Wouldn't change it for the world. I learned a lot. I had gained a lot of knowledge from, you know, working at Super Cheap when I was younger. But yeah, I'm very, you know, very happy to know what I know, and you know, it's helped me get to, you know, the job I'm in now, being, you know, a diesel mechanic and whatnot. So yeah, all right, we'll get this degreaser, and yeah, we'll go back home and we'll start working on the Skyline. Sorry, changing mind. I've just walked down this back aisle here at Super Cheap. Instead of getting these for $2.89, I'm gonna get 4 of these heavy duty ones for $10. So, whoop, I'm gonna drop shit in a minute. So I get 4 of these. I also need some concrete cleaner. Oh no, not that. No, I'd rather just buy, I'll just go and buy some hydrochloric acid from Bunnings, which would be better. So anyway, sorry, I'll see you back home. Okay, back home, so there's 2 things that can get fucked. The coronavirus and the rain. It's all we've had lately. It was actually nice blue skies this morning, and then this shit happened. So thankfully my wife was home, because I left all my tools and stuff outside, because I was actually going to come back and, you know, film in the driveway where I was before. So Skyline's inside. I'm just going to let it cool down for a bit, then we'll jack it up. I'll show you where the best place to jack it up from, also, if you own a Skyline and you're watching this video. But yeah, I'll jack it up, put it on stands at the front, and then yeah, I'll show you where to go from there. Okay, so back in the garage. This is very fucking hot, so which is good. That means obviously everything's worked its way around. Good way to tell if your thermostat's open is if your bottom rad hose, which you probably can't see because the lights in here are shit. I got like one light there, but it does fuck all for in here. But yeah, if your bottom rad hose is warm, which mine is, means your thermostat's open, which is good. So obviously everything's working its way around and all that shit. Now the best place to jack off the Skyline, sorry, jack off, I shouldn't say that, I mean jack up. If you can see through there, let's go into here. If the light's going to be very good, where is it? Somewhere here. Yeah, right there, which you can't see. But anyway, in there is like a toe point, so it's a toe hook. There's one on each side. Because they're bolted directly to chassis, they're really good to jack up from. So I'm going to jack it up there, put 2 stands under it. Now if you've noticed, I've already got a tarp under the front, just to make sure I don't spill anything. Well, I'm going to spill anything regardless. You'll see what I mean when you undo the block. It just goes fucking everywhere. But yeah, anyway, back to talking about getting an alignment and everything. Everything is, you know, sitting perfect now. They actually readjusted the heights as well for the front and the rear. I've got next to zero camber in the front, sorry, in the back, which is really nice. But yeah, I rubbed through the engine loom because, not engine loom, but the body loom that's like right here underneath the guard, because I didn't set my preloads right and everything like that. So for a while it was actually, you know, hitting bumps and stuff, and then actually, you know, rubbing into the loom. So anyway, let's jack this car up and then yeah, we'll go from there. Okay, so I'm underneath the car now. It's really bad light, so I had to use my phone to get light. So right here is the radiator drain. So as you can see, it's just a Phillips head. So just get yourself a Phillips head screwdriver and then undo it. But first of all, I've got to move my jack stand out of the way because it's kind of right in the way and I can't really get the drip tray over. So I'll move that and then we'll get that out. There we go. Cool. Okay, so there you go. You can already see that that's really gross. So now another tip, guys, is once you undo this, undo the rad cap at the top and it'll cause like a vacuum effect and pull everything down. There we go. That is gross, so that's a big no-no, so don't do what I do and be ignorant and just kind of let it go. But yeah, also make sure you discard your coolant and shit properly, you know. Don't be a wanker that just pours it down the street, because that's a big fucking no-no. Now the reason why I drained the block today, guys, is as you can see, it's quite rusty. The RBs have got a big problem, which they're renowned for in regards to, you know, block rust from the inside out. So yeah, this is good reason why we're going to drain the block today. So then you'll see that everything that'll come out will be nice and gross. I'm not sure if you can see, but from where I'm sitting, I can see a lot of steam coming out of this little drip tray, which is obviously not ideal. But I've also now misplaced the drain bung, and I hope I didn't drop it in there because that'll be really annoying. Anyway, we'll get this drained and then we'll go from there. Okay, so once that's stopped dripping, guys, we can put the little bung back in there, like so. Now just be careful, guys. They are plastic, and if they're original, they just, I don't know, they suck ass. So just be careful when you pull it out when you put it back in. So yeah, once we do that, and now look at that. That's gross. That's all my bad. Honestly, don't worry about the oil in there because I did an oil service on my Cruiser the other day. So yeah, don't be like me and forget to do your coolant. So yeah, I'm going to discard that properly. So what I've done, so it's just a big 20 litre drum. What we're going to do, we're going to put all the coolant in there. Yeah. Yeah. Always discarding your chemicals and coolants and all your liquids and shit properly, guys. It doesn't make you a hero if you go and dump it and be a wanker with it, so always do that. Okay, so once you've gotten rid of your old coolant, obviously there, but we've got brand new fresh stuff there. So I've moved the jack stands to back under here. I've just set them on the chassis rail. Whoever owned this before me has fucked them, so I may as well have done the same thing. Another tip, guys, always keep your jack under the car somewhere close by, because you never know that, you know, one day your car might just, you know, hit the deck. So we'll get under here and I'll show you where we're going. Okay. Oh look, screamer pipe. Oh, there's the bottom of my dump pipe if anyone wanted to see it. Right there, underneath that coolant line. That is the block drain. So you need a 14mm socket. Undo that, and then just be careful because as soon as you undo that, it's going to come out. So I'll get that undone and then we'll go from there. So once you get it cracked, just reach up wherever side it is, up and out, and then just undo it by hand, and then be careful because it will be hot if you've ran your car recently. Oh fuck, that's hot. Okay, so this here is what your drain looks like, drain by your block drain. So it's just a 14mm little, blank. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put it in the vise here, and I definitely recommend putting a bit of thread tape on it. If you've got thread sealant, like the goo, that's just as good. So yeah, we'll put this in the vise here. We'll tape her up, then she's good to go. So just like that, guys. So there is your RB25 drain block, 14mm bung, whatever you want to call it. There you go, a bit of thread tape, good to go. So as I said, either use thread tape or some thread sealant and bang her back in, and yeah, I'll see you at the next part. Okay, as you can tell, it's a little bit hot here in Brisbane today. So now I have put the car back down, pulled the jack stands out. Now I'm ready to pretty much go. So I've got my funnel sitting in here. This is one that actually literally screws in to the top of the radiator, which is really good. That's also good. So if you get one of them, props to you. Really good. So now I've just got pretty much a 15 litre, not 15 litre, sorry. How many litres is this? Should be 10, 5 litres. So 5 litre concentrate. Now it says here 50%, 5 litres to 5 litres of water. So this, for an RB, they take 8.5 litres, including obviously draining the block, but you'll never get it all out unless you pull your block down and wash it out. So what we'll do, so we'll put 5 litres of this into this watering can. Now this watering can is, if you can see there, 9 litres. So I'll just make it, 5 and 5. Or close enough to obviously 9 litres, and then we'll just literally start pouring it in. So once you've poured it in, obviously run the car. Now right here is the highest point for an RB, so obviously once it comes up to cooling temperature, optimal temperature, crack that, give it a rev, and obviously wait till all the bubbles come out. Once you see straight coolant, she's good to go. So we'll get this filled up and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got the RB's green cordial right here. Cordial is in coolant. So pretty much best thing to do, guys, is use a watering can. It just makes it, 10 times easier to pour it in. You've got a good even flow out the end here. So yeah, as I said, it takes 8.5 litres. But obviously this is a 9 litre drum, so I've just put the whole 5 litres, watering can. I've got the whole 5 litres of coolant in here. Then I've just obviously mixed the rest with water, so she'll be all sweet. So what we've got to do, obviously fill it right up to the top. Now because the thermostat won't be open again, so I'm probably going to have to fill it right up here. Start the engine, obviously let it warm up, and then it'll obviously pull itself down and go through the bottom of the block. So this is starting to fill up now, as you hear. So this is how the coolant should have looked when I pulled it out, instead of being like fucking chocolate Nesquik, which is not good. But that's just because of me and kind of forgetting about it. So that's right, you get that on the big jobs. It's starting to pour out the side there. So what we'll do, we'll start her up and we'll let it run through, because obviously as soon as you start it up, the water pump will be going and it'll start pouring all this down. So we'll start her up. Take it out of gear for a start. Oh, hear the fuel pressure reg squealing. Now we'll just let that run down, and then I'll pick it back up shortly. Okay, so the coolant's dropped. Now I've pulled this 10mm bolt out, which is right here. So a little 10mm bolt, just completely pull it out. Now you'll see here in a second, it'll pop. There we go. So you see bubbles are coming out. So this here, as I said, is the highest part of your RB, and that's obviously the bleeding point. Obviously, if I go forward facing plenum, that will get removed. But yeah, if you notice, it'll keep jumping up. So yeah, what that's doing is just it's just relieving obviously the bubbles and the pressure that's in the system. You don't want any bubbles, otherwise, you know, that's how you get a lock. So yeah, what I'll do, guys, is I'll just keep letting this bleed out, and I'll pick you back up shortly. Okay guys, so I've done what I've had to do here. So all I did was keep the 10mm nut off just here. Just keep the revs up in the engine until you see like a nice solid stream of coolant coming out of the top. Obviously once the bubbles stop means, you know, you've got pretty much the air out of the system. So this is where I'm going to sign off from today's video. If you like the video and you know you found this video helpful, please leave me a like. I really appreciate it. But on that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.